Your brain is being hijacked by cheap dopamine, keeping you weak and distracted. There is expensive dopamine out there. It's just the cheap dopamine that is hijacking your brain, and it's not good for you. You get too much of this cheap dopamine. It's like if you bought a bunch of bread and you eat too much bread instead of eating steak. And this cheap dopamine is coming from like all of social media, all of the internet, all the video games you play. I mean, if you're looking at YouTube videos for education, then go for it. That's fine. If you're watching movies, that's a bit better. Playing video games, I would say that's better than scrolling and crap. But still, it's all cheap. The internet should be a tool, not an entertainment. The internet should mostly be a tool and less of the time be entertainment. You can watch a movie every day or play an hour of video games every day, but the problem is people are doing too much of this. They are scrolling for hours on their phones. They are playing video games for hours. They are watching multiple movies, multiple episodes of TV shows, and that is not healthy. You need to do other things with your life. I'm sure you can, if you sit there and be bored for a whole day, nothing. Maybe you watch one movie and the rest of the day you sit there and be bored until you find something that you can actually do that actually helps with your life instead of just giving you dopamine like watching anything would do or playing video games would do. And you should be training your brain to crave discipline and purpose over comfort and just sitting there and doing nothing and scrolling on your phone. Crave doing something that gives value to yourself and to your life. Watching crap and playing video games does not give value to your life. It just gives you dopamine. It just makes you feel good. And yeah, it's fine to do it a little bit, but most people do it a lot, like I'm sure you do. So I suggest you go for a dopamine detox. You cut out everything. You don't get an hour of watching, you don't get to watch a movie every day. You don't get an hour of playing video games or watching crap every day. You cut everything out slowly. If you have 5 hours, this is a not very extreme example. An extreme example would be like 12 hours a day, but I'm just gonna say 5 hours a day. If you have 5 hours a day that you're on your phone or playing video games or something, start by cutting it down to 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day of playing video games, and do that for a week. And then the next week, 3 hours. And then the next week, 2 hours. And then the next week, 1 hour. And you go 1 hour for 2 weeks, and then 0 hours for a month. And if you can successfully do 0 hours for a month, you might mess up and do a couple minutes or something and realize, oh, I should probably not be doing that. That's fine. But if you do you can do 10 minutes if you mess up, right? If you mess up, it's fine. If you mess up for a day, it's fine. You just have to get back onto that 0 hours, right? 0 hours for a month, 0 minutes for a month. And then you can go up to half an hour for 2 weeks, and then an hour, and cap it off at an hour. Half an hour to an hour of whatever it is that you find fun that is a cheap source of dopamine for you. And while you're cutting down and while you have 0, find stuff that you can do other than the cheap sources of dopamine. Find something you can do, find stuff you can do that's fulfilling. For example, I play instruments. I have a couple guitars hanging on the wall. I have a piano in my house. I play piano. You can get a cheap $70 electric keyboard piano, and you can play that. You can get a cheap beginner guitar for like $70. Start playing an instrument. Piano is a really good one. Get a cheap $70 keyboard and start playing that. Start learning how to play that instead of watching cheap dopamine stuff and playing video games. Obviously, you can watch videos on how to play songs on piano. That's educational, right? You can watch sheet music videos or something, how to read sheet music. Educational, right? That's educational. Or another example is you could start a YouTube channel. You could start learning piano and document your journey on learning piano. You never know. You could end up making lots of money off of that. Some people do, just documenting their journey for a long time. That's a really good idea. I just gave you an idea there, so you don't have to sit there and be bored. If you want to do that, go ahead, take that from me and do that. That's a good idea. Sit and be bored for a whole day. Just be bored when you haven't figured out what you're going to do. Be bored and figure it out. You will eventually figure it out if you just sit there and be bored until you figure it out. And you may not figure it out as fast as me. I just think about things like this a lot. You may not, so it might take you a while. You can take the piano idea, you can take the guitar idea, document your guitar progress, or even learn some other skill like coding. I don't know. Just examples to get you off the cheap dopamine and actually doing something and learning skills for your life that are useful. So, if you continue following me, I expect you to do something like this. I expect you to get off of your dopamine, your cheap dopamine, and find some fulfilling stuff to do that actually helps you with your life. Remember that the path to heaven feels like hell and the path to hell feels like heaven. In our Discord server, we are on the path to heaven. We are an army, a group of warriors on the path to heaven. Come join us there. I also have an email list. Once you sign up, I will send you a document that has a bunch of questions that you can answer that will help you with your life now and your life later. And I will be sending many other things there soon. You have a limited amount of time to get this document, by the way. So sign up soon before you regret it. That's all. I love you, bro.